Hi, everybody. Welcome to my channel. So, very exciting. We've had a lot of new subscribers lately, and I want to just welcome you to this journey of mine that's a little crazy and kind of boring, I guess. But whatever. And for those of you who have followed me from the get, I appreciate you so much. Your love and support and your messages mean the world to me, especially those of you that have been there since, Team Manda. I truly got my heart. Thank you. So what we're going to do today is we are going to make an apple pie kind of in the shape of a rose, right? Hi, Patty. Yes, and making pies is so much fun. Marco, hello. Space Rabbit, hello. GR, hello. Hi, Kayak Excursions. Hola, ¿cómo está? So anyhow, I just wanted to point out some things that are a little different in the descriptions. I have, of course, PayPal for donations. I do have a personal wish list on Amazon on there, but I also have an outreach wish list. Now, because of the rising need, before I did outreach on the street, and then I was focusing more of my attention on the boards that I belong to in the meetings and consulting and the things that I do, the scope of things that I do outside of that. And with the rising need, it has become apparent that outreach needs to be done. And so I am also going to be doing that again. So I definitely have an outreach list. Check it out. Things are always in need. And if you think of something, send it along, Okay, so we're going to get started here. First things first, I put everything here so you can kind of see what I'm doing because this is going to be kind of important. Hi, Jenna. First, we're going to take just 1 second. We're going to peel our apple, right? Before anything, thank you, Web Surfer Guy. I appreciate that. So before anything else, preheat the oven to 375. Grab your apple, and peeling apples is pretty easy. You just go right along with the skin. You'll get like a little curly cue. And I will here in a minute put the camera down so you guys can see what I'm doing as far as knife work goes. Okay, so we got this apple peeled. Set off the peelings over here. Okay, so I'm going to put this down so you guys can see here kind of what I'm doing. Set the peels off to the side. Okay, so I got my apple here, my apple's peeled, and I've also got some cherries here. And the reason for that is because in the bottom of this pie is going to be cherries. And if you take a look at these bad boys, these are Rainier cherries, which are grown in Washington State. And so they are so yummy, and we're going to put those in the bottom. Hi, El Judy, love pie. Me too. I absolutely love pies. So let's get this going. You're just going to quarter your apple, right? Just like normal. And just pour that out. And I'm sure that you can do it with a little less waste than I am. You want to be able to use, of course, as much of the apple as possible. Hey, Jose. Okay, there we go. Okay, now over here, I actually have apples that have been macerating, which is just getting soft in some sugar and some orange juice. And I am going to, when we cut these apples, okay, I need to show you a little closer. What we're doing here is we're just doing really thin slices. And you just want those real even, okay? But you want them thin because as they're in the sugar, they're going to get soft. And that's what's going to provide us the ability to do that rose on there. So just real quick, slice those up. Don't cut yourself. I think that's more of a reminder to me because today I cut up a bunch of apples. Got that little piece of seed out there. There we go. Back in there. Your top is so beautiful. Thank you very much. I haven't worn this one a lot, and it just kind of struck my eye, and I was like, that's pretty. I'm going to wear that. I do like greens. Okay, so we got the apples in there. We're just going to mix them up. And these are discolored, and I'm going to let you know they're a little discolored, but they're not discolored from the air. They're actually a little discolored from the orange juice that I put in there. Now, with the cherries, I've got some cherries again already here, already sugared, ready to go. Now, I'm going to show you with the cherries how easy this is, right? So you pop the little stem off, right? And just take your thumbs right there and pop it open. Take the pit out and put it in. So again, just put your thumbs, pop it in, pit it. And there are cherry pitters. Ooh, we're going to save. Which one are we going to use for the top? There are cherry pitters out there that work more efficiently, I guess, and will give you, especially if you're going to do like stuffed cherries, like cream cheese stuffed cherries or something like that, then it's good to do that. And this is the one, we're going to leave this one for the top. All right, so we got all of that going. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so now we just kind of grab our waist here because we're done with this, and we're going to just put this over here. Grab we'll just wipe up our area a little bit. Hi, Jaden. Okay, so now we are going to grab half a cup of cold chilled butter. Okay, it's important that it's cold. And what we're going to do with that, we're going to unwrap it because you don't want wrappings in there. Do not put wrappings in the butter. That's important. We're going to grab a knife and we're just going to cube it. So what you're going to have are just itty bitty little cubes like this of butter. And you're going to put them right in there. And remember to keep it chilled. And that's why, like, you also want to work quickly with this. Your better subscribers to say thank you guys. I appreciate that. Sometimes it's hard, you know, because I switched content really from a lot of work, and I do want to get back to the work I was doing with the displaced and the unhoused, but I just appreciate you guys following all of my ventures. I had a photography job last week, and I was really excited about that, and my painting and all the things I do that you guys just love, and I appreciate you so very much. Okay, so we got our butter. It's all in there, little cubes. Now we're going to take some flour, right? And we're going to take our handy dandy pretty measuring cups. And we're going to do 3/4 cup of flour in there. Okay. So we got that's about 3/4. There we go. It works. We're going to just throw a little bit of sugar in there. I'm guessing that's like 2 tablespoons. Then we're going to grab our salt. And there's the salt. Put that in there. Little bit of baking soda. Just a tad bit, like teeny 1/4 teaspoon. Thank you, Ethan. Okay, so now we got all that in there together. We are going to grab this out of the freezer. And this is just water, and it's super cold. You can see, like, oh no, I just spilled water on the laptop. That is such a bad idea. Okay, so do not, if you're working with a laptop, spill your water on the laptop. That is not a grand idea. Oops. So take your, like, almost frozen cold water, and we're just going to grab our apple cider vinegar here, and we're just going to pour a little bit in there, okay? I do enjoy the lives. It's always something different. Okay, now comes hopefully not the too messy part. We are going to take our flour, our butter, and all of that, and we are going to mix that up. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to pour your cold water in here, just a little bit. And so I would say a little under a quarter cup right now, and we're just going to mix that up with the butter. And flour is going to go spraying, but that's okay. That's why we're making a mess in the kitchen. Okay, we're going to add just about another tablespoon, I think. There. Okay. And get all of this out of our beaters. And make sure when you're spinning your beaters to get the extra out, you hold it down, because if you hold it up, you're going to get, and I'm speaking from experience, you're going to get dough everywhere. everywhere. So we're going to take some cling wrap, right? Take that. We're just going to put a square down. And with this, we're going to take it, scoop it with our hands. Now you're going to work quickly because the butter is going to heat up to your hands. So you want to work real quick with this, okay? You're just going to form it into a disc, right? Just like that. You're going to put that in your cling wrap. You're going to wrap that up till it's covered, and you're going to throw that in the freezer. And this dough is actually going to go for another pie that I'm making, because I was smart and already did one. So we're just going to clean up our area a little bit here. We are not going to throw the mixer in the sink and electrocute ourselves. That's a bad idea. Yeah, keep your electric implements away from water. Okay, so we got that cleaned up. Now what we're going to do is we are going to use our cling wrap again, right? So I'm going to put this down so you guys can see what I'm doing again. All right, so we got our counter here. We're putting our cling wrap down. And we're going to try to keep it a little stable, because this, I don't know how many times I spend time having to uncling the cling wrap. So, because we want to make it a little larger, because we're doing a pie crust here. Okay. Now we're going to take this disc that we have of pie dough that I already made. And we are going to, again, uncling the cling wrap and unwrap it. All right. So we're going to put that right in the middle. I'm going to take the cling wrap we used because, you know, reuse your stuff. Put another one down, just like so. So now your entire pastry is covered in cling wrap, front and back, okay? Hi, Merrick. And we are going to take this and we're just going to roll it out. We're going to do that first. And this just helps, because a lot of times you're going to have a problem with over flouring your pastry. As it warms up, you're going to need to, if you do it on a floured surface, you're going to have to redo it over and over, you know, like roll it out more. And it just adds more flour, and then you don't get as flaky of a crust. So I prefer doing it this way. Apparently, though, I need more mussels because I chilled it a little much. It's almost frozen. So pretty much just keep working with it until it evens out. I need to oil my rolling pin. It's squeaking. I do like these heavier rolling pins though. I used to always use a wood one, and now I have this one, and I've tried the marble ones too, and they're always really, those are real nice heavy ones. It just helps with the rolling process. So you can kind of consider this, I guess, like the workout. So when you eat the pie, the calories don't count, right? Just kidding. But wouldn't it be nice if it worked? Okay, it's starting to loosen up now. And actually, I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. See, look at how there's, let's see if you can see. See how there's pieces of butter still in there? That's what you want. You want to keep this real cold. So you want those pieces of butter to really be in there, because this is what's going to give you that flaky, yummy crust, right? And that's what we want out of our pie crust, is to be yummy and flaky. But I do recommend that if you decide to make a pie on live, that you might just let it warm just a little bit, because then you don't look like a big wuss trying to roll things out. All right. And also, it kind of helps with like mess wise, because you're not making a huge mess. This squeaking is a little irritating, I'm not gonna lie. And also with this method, you can get it way, way thinner than with other methods. So pretty much roll in a circle as much as you can. Oh, get serious with it. All right. Just a few more rolls and we'll be good. And the reason too, it's really nice, like in the summertime, to do your baking at night. Because like, I know for like my apartment, I don't have air conditioning. And like right now with the oven going and everything, I am totally like sweating. All right. It's not quite a circle, but we got it going good. All right. And we're not gonna, this is not, you can make a full pie, but for this, I'm just going to do, I'll show you. So we'll put this back down. Okay. So we're going to take off this first film. And some of it's going to stick. That's okay. So just peel off that first layer, right? Okay. Now we're going to take the second layer here. And we're just going to put that in our pie pan like that. We don't need it going tons up the side. So just a little bit be fine. And just spread that out with your hands. But again, be careful of it warming up. Mine's already starting to heat here. All right. So we're just going to pull this up. Might have to tug it a little bit, work at it from other angles as well. Heat it up. And this is exactly why you see it kind of tear there. That's exactly why you want your dough cold too. And in all honesty, I probably should have put it back in the freezer for a hot second before doing this. But what else? We will work with it because we can adapt and overcome. Okay. Yeah, it's warming up like way faster than it should be here, or that I am allowing it to warm up way too much. So we seriously need to pop this back in the freezer for a minute, or we're going to have some issues. And it won't be pretty. And we do want it kind of pretty. It's, galette is, well, we could make a galette where it's just kind of rustic. That's what, anytime I don't want to do like a fancy pie, I just totally turn it into a galette and call it rustic. And it totally like flies. Where did I learn to bake so well? Did I learn it from family or friends? Did I teach myself? Okay. First, I really, my grandmother was baked a lot. And so I remember being little and in the kitchen with her, and I was always allowed to take part. And so that was always a really big deal to me. Then when I had my children, I wanted to be able, I wanted to have that, I wanted them to have fresh baked bread and fresh cookies and all of the amazing things that, my grandmother provided for us and during their childhood. So I really just kind of took it on and I enjoyed it so much. And then later, I was financially really struggling when I had my kids. And so that was one of my skills that I leaned on, was selling my pies, selling my sauces. And it lifted us up enough to be able to make it through. And, even like unhoused, right? I remember taking on the challenge of cooking over a fire, and I made a like Thanksgiving Day. It was really cool. So I love cooking. I love baking. And for me, I really put my heart into it. So it means a lot to me. And it makes me feel really good, like to feed my family and friends, just to do that. And then we had a baking marathon for Seattle Dogs for me, Athena, and Brian did this baking marathon. And we handed out, I think it was definitely over 70 baked goods to Laura for the unhoused. And so there's so much you can do with baking, and you can make people's days and you can make them happy. And it's great. It's just a great way to show love. And so I guess that's kind of one of my things is I show love through my cooking and my baking. Okay, so next. Now's the fun part. So we're going to take our slightly chilled love language. Right, Patty? It is a love language. Like, just feeding your people, right? It's important. Okay, I'm going to put this down so you guys can see what I'm doing. And remember, this one's going to be a little rustic, right? So we got our pitted cherries here, and we're just going to throw those in the bottom, right? Just like that. Now we're going to take some of our apples, and we're going to do the same. Just layer those. Doesn't matter. Kind of get, just you want an even coating is about all. Just like that, right? Now what we're going to do is we're just going to take these and just put them around, right? So take your little slices of apple. I hope you can see what I'm doing. Let's see. That. And that, and that. And that, and that. And you just kind of go around like that. So. And you can do it, you can do it as slow or as quick as you want to. I'm trying to do it a little quicker. Honestly, because I'm on camera, but it's looking a little sloppy, I'm not gonna lie. Let's see. That's awesome. What dish of yours do people rave about? I don't know. It really depends on the person. One thing that everybody absolutely always wants is, of course, they're not really Philly cheesesteaks because I don't use the processed cheese like that. I use provolone, smoked provolone, but it's reminiscent of a cheesesteak sandwich. So that's always a big one. Cookies, of course. Cookies go and go and go. People love my cookies. Let's see. I'm yeah, it's pretty much I always find someone who's totally into whatever I am baking or cooking. So I'm pretty lucky with that. But pretty much, I think when you throw your heart into it and you really like what you're doing, you're going to turn a good product. So if you enjoy baking and you enjoy the ins and outs of it, you're going to make a spectacularly good product. You know, you put your heart into it. Anything you do, my paintings, when I paint, I put my heart in there. It's me and my view and my creation. And so I put my heart into it. And same thing with photography. It's whatever you do, just put your heart into it. Outreach, the nonprofits I work with, the consulting I do, I put my heart and soul into that. And so, it becomes a thing. It becomes something that you love doing and become good at. And there is something to the practice. Practice just makes it doesn't matter what you're doing, practice will make you better. So I hope you can kind of see how it's forming into a flower shape here. And you have to accept as well that when you are baking and cooking, you clean up your area behind you, but feel free to get your hands in there and make a mess. Your clean hands, make sure. And if you're cooking on a commercial level, you definitely wear gloves. But since mine's on a personal level and I'm clean, it's all right. Because this is for family and friends. Let's see. It's therapeutic. Yeah, it definitely is. Let's see. I'll address comments here in just a second. I'm having a hard time reading with it down there like that. So as soon as I show you guys this, I will address all the comments because I appreciate them so very much. Oh yeah, that's pretty. And like I said, you don't have to be perfect with it. Just keep that going around and around, and it'll come together. And see what I mean by they're bendy after you leave them in the sugar and the juice for a little bit. So you can do this with them. And you can make all sorts of shapes. Okay, and then you just kind of fill in where you can fill in. If you see a little missing somewhere, give it that little extra edge. Just tuck them in around. Tuck them in, tuck them in, tuck them in. There we go. And so far, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take this cherry and we're going to get it all nice and tiny. And we are just going to shake it up and pop that cherry right on the top, just like this. And we're going to put that right in the oven. And there we go. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like done because I actually made one already. So just give me a second. So this is an already done apple pie that I have made. And this is what the finished product looks like. And when I'm going to actually take a slice for you guys so you can see how absolutely yummy it is. And I'm just going to say that usually the first piece of pie that you pull out is kind of wrecked. So I'm hoping that this actually like works. I turned out. Look at this, guys. Look at that bad boy there. Look at yeah. Yes, yes, and more yes. So this is what it looks like. And very, very good. Super good. Okay. Now I'm going to address the comments. Patty, cheesecakes and blackberry pie are right. Yes, absolutely. All of that sounds so good. I am having a wonderful day, man. That pie looks good. It is so good. It is so good. And I love baking. It is therapeutic for sure. Yes, it's, the thing is I'm not always a positive person, but when I'm not, I do try to look for things that I can brighten up with. And, there's so much around us that we can focus on and take our minds away from the craziness. And so I think that if I can promote more people just smiling and being joyful, then I want to do that. I am super excited to bite into this. I'm actually going to put a little bit of raspberry cheesecake ice cream on it and have a slice. But there it is. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you guys make this because it really is totally yummy. And I appreciate you so much. So have a great night and I will see you later. Bye.